In this video, I'm going to tell you 2 things you better change on your camera. Doesn't matter what camera you have, Canon, Sony, JVC, Nikon D5200. I'm going to tell you 2 things you better change before you use any camera, so stay tuned. Yeah, that's a lot of cameras. What's up, guys? If you don't know who I am yet, my name is Peter. I help you become a better content creator. I myself make content. I gotta talk the talk and walk the walk. So before we get into this video, I'm gonna tell you to grab that free camera guide that I have in the description below, because I always get comments and questions like, hey, what's the best gear? How do I do this and that? What's the best microphone? Check that free guide out and that will get you ahead of the game. So let's get into it. So the secret trick about getting the best quality and settings and from your video camera, or you want to take photos, easiest thing, doesn't matter what camera you have, a lot of these videos, it's all the same thing, including my own, is that you want to have your camera's best settings. And how you do that reality is you want to go into your movie mode as well as your camera mode, and I'm going to show you guys in a minute. But most cameras are set to, let's say, 1080p, and if you're using a Sony, it's set at AVC HD, and all you want to do is change that mode to XAVCX HD or in 4K. And if you're using a Nikon, for example, you want to change your mode to able to shoot in 4K, as well as you have normal and high quality, you want to change that simply to high quality. And that in itself, that simple little change that you do in your video or photo camera, will get instantly better looking videos and image quality. Another thing that you want to do is you also want to make sure you have the best possible SD card. Having the best possible SD card makes your camera have the ability to shoot higher resolution, as well as the read and write speeds go seamlessly, so you don't have like a really bad high quality camera that you pay thousands of dollars for, but you have a really crappy SD card that takes forever to read and write. There's chances highly likely that you're gonna get some corrupted files, and you don't want that, and you want high transfer speeds from your camera to your PC so you can edit. So tip, hack, trick, whatever you want to call it, number 1 is to have the ability to go into your movie settings within your camera, right? And you want to go into menu. I do this live with y'all. Go into your image quality, and here you can actually change your photo quality, right? So if you're a photographer, you always want to shoot in RAW, as well as you have JPEG Basic, right? RAW and JPEG Basic, so you have ability to flex through the colors, so you can color grade more, you can color correct a lot more easily. So you want to change that to RAW. And image size, I usually go for the largest, depending if you want to print them, but it's always good to have the large quality. Doesn't really matter if it's medium and small, especially online, but for me, I prefer to have the large quality. And when it comes to video, is the same thing applies. You just want to go down here. This is on the Nikon D5200 movie settings, and as you can see here, it's set on 720p. You don't want that, right? So the easiest way is you want to go into your movie settings, go all the way to the top, and that should give you the 1080p, right? 24 frames per second, and as you see, it says movie quality. And I don't know why people give the options on the cameras, maybe for space and storage, but normal is just going to get you normal quality. It's not going to be high quality. So you want to change that and make sure your camera's on high quality video settings, especially on the Nikon. As well as you want to have your manual movie settings turned on and your microphone lowered down just a bit, right? So that was just me walking you through that on this Nikon D5200 of how you get the best video and photo quality. Super simple. And if you want me to get a little bit more in-depth, where I go exact the shutter speed, the this and that, check out my camera crash course where I literally walk you through step by step and show you how you go from a complete beginner to a more of an expert when it comes to using a Nikon D5200 or any DSLR, and that also applies to mirrorless cameras. Go figure. It's the same thing. So check that out. And tip number 2 when it comes to shooting is in relation to tip number 1, is you always, doesn't matter what camera you have, and especially if you're doing these talking head videos where you're in, the lighting is controlled, you always want to go from auto to manual. Why? Because it doesn't matter how good the technology is, but like maybe if you're on a vlog camera and you're out in a boot and you don't want to constantly change the dials, then yeah, man, go shoot a YouTube vlog. You don't have to worry about settings. But if you're shooting indoors, especially if you want to get cinematic interviews, corporate style videos, you want to have your camera settings on manual. And the basic foundation of shooting cameras setting in manual is you want a 1/50 of a shutter speed, a low aperture so you have more depth of field, and your ISO or your camera sensitivity, its sensor, to have it lowest as possible so you can get rid of that grain. And that's why you have decent videos and superb videos, and that just comes from manually shooting your videos, so you yourself as the user can control much better than a computer generated sensor that's going to detect light, exposure, underexposed, overexposed. You don't want to go through that headache. And those are the 2 tips. Super simple. Make sure you have the best movie and photo quality, as well as you have the right settings. And like I already said, check out that camera course. I really highly appreciate if you guys help me, but it's also a lot of value. It's a 1-hour crash course where I walk you through the basics, as well as I teach you a little thing or two about camera settings and how you can finally go into fully manual. And once you learn manual, you never want to go back to auto. So check that out. Those are the 2 things that I recommend on any camera. It doesn't matter, Canon, Sony, whatever your heart desires. Do those 2 things, and those are the basics of how you get the best video photo quality out of your camera, especially if you just started out on YouTube. My name is Peter. You're watching a Broke Visionary Collective where we all start with nothing, but you can always create something. Cheers, guys.